What up, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Today we have Palermo Cerveza Argentina, and apparently it was founded in 1897. I don't know. Palermo is a neighborhood in Buenos Aires. This is a limited edition. Don't know what that means. Limited to, I guess, the number they can sell. It's 4.4% ABV, and that's all it is. I don't know. Don't know anything else about it. I've never even really seen it before until I was just wandering around the store, and it's like, all right, let's give it a whirl. Haven't seen it for being around for 130 years, but let's check it out. Dog just got back from a long walk, so now she's pumped. So if that's what you hear. All right, this is crystal clear. Like, I can see through this to the phone. So it's clear. Whatever. Let's get into the review, get into the smell. Yeah, it smells like your standard, just kind of everyday Pilsner. You really get the cereal aroma on it. I'm trying to think of it. I'm getting more corn than wheat. Yeah, it just kind of smells like your standard kind of Busch Light kind of thing. I don't think it's even going to be at a level of a Bud Light. But I don't know. I'm a little worried. It smells more like a cheap Pilsner than a well done Pilsner. So I'm gonna give it a half, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's get into the taste. Yeah, it tastes like, when you're in college, somebody had a keg party and it's just a cheap keg. It tastes like the keg the day after. Kind of doesn't really have much of its carbonation anymore. It's a little flat. The flavor's starting to be like, you're thinking, okay, we have to finish this keg today, because anything else and it's going to be a nightmare. So yeah, you really get that. I don't even know if I would take a Busch Light well over this. This is whatever. What's under Busch Light? We're not at King Cobra yet, but would it be? I'd even take Keystone. Maybe this is Keystone Light. I'm trying to think. Like, we're getting there. It was cheap, so we're probably in Keystone Light territory. But there's a little bit of maltiness to it, but you're really getting that really cheap cereal, syrupy, watery taste. There's not much aftertaste. You get a bit of that kind of watery cereal corn. I think this is more corn. Watery corn on the tip of your tongue. And then afterwards, it's not there anymore. So, I guess if you just want something really cheap and you just need a beer, okay. But I don't know. This is not my thing, so I'm not going to recommend it on taste. Next category is value for price. I got this. It was on sale. It was like 260 pesos. The exchange rate is up to almost 600 pesos per dollar. If you've been watching the videos, the one I released last week, it was at 530. Now it's up to like 600. So this would be less than 50 cents. The can is less than 50 cents. So I guess you have to think, is a Keystone Light worth 45 cents? I think if you just want a beer and you don't really care too much about the taste, all right, this is fine. And as long as you keep it really cold, it's drinkable. I feel like if this was to sit for like 10 minutes and it starts to get to room temperature, it's going to taste like ass. No doubt. So, I can't give 45-cent beer a negative on a value for price, can I? That'd be really bad. It's not bad enough to rate it for that. So I'll recommend it on value for price. And all right, next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And I mean, it's a cheap Pilsner. It's the kind of beer that you're going to find in every country around the globe that allows alcohol. You're always going to find a cheap Pilsner, and it's always going to taste pretty much like this. Sometimes you're going to get that funk aroma. This doesn't have the funk. So, but other than that, yeah, it's kind of like every country Pilsner. So it's not distinct. Not going to recommend it for distinction. Next category is drinkability. How drinkable is it? I mean, it's 4.4%. It's fine. It's drinkable. You know, especially if you just want something cheap. Maybe you order a pizza, cheap beer and pizza. It's fine. You can make it work. So I mean, it's not the worst cheap Pilsner I've had before. I should probably say that. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but you know, I feel like you kind of know what you're getting into. I didn't know that this was a Pilsner. I had an idea that's what it was going to be. You know, a kind of a Pilsner or a lager or something. I kind of assumed that's what I'm getting into. But drinkability, yeah, it's drinkable, so I'll recommend it on that. But all right, last category is would I buy it again? And I have no need for something like this. I don't need a cheap Pilsner in my life. I mean, the beers around here are already inexpensive. If I'm saving a quarter, it's not a big deal. And like, even if you're on the local currency, I mean, this is pretty darn cheap. And so I just have no need for it, so I will not be buying it again. But at least I know this is a limited edition. I don't need to visit again. But all right, guys, that is the review for Palermo Cerveza Argentina. Yeah, really not much else to say about it. It's your cheap Pilsner, and every place has it, but it's good to find them. So anyways, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Hopefully you guys are getting into the reviews that are coming back out. I'm trying to do at least 3 a week. Gotta catch up. But anyways, for myself and from Palermo Cerveza Argentina,